Hi guys, welcome to the new video. And today we will be discussing about different deployment strategies in Kubernetes because I have seen that whenever uh, the the interviews that I have given, they usually ask that what kind of deployment strategies you are following. And if you are giving just theoretical things like, yeah, blue green deployment is this and this and that, so they get an idea that you only know the theory, you haven't worked actually. So they get that idea ki you have actually worked or not. So in order, if you're bluffing also, or if you are studying, you should have deeper knowledge more than theory, which give them the idea that you have actually worked on it. So basically, your answer should be that it depends on the requirement, that what kind of requirement is theirs. If they can afford downtime, then we can go, and they have limited resources, then we can go for recreate strategy. If they cannot afford downtime, and uh, then and it is a production environment, then we have to choose different strategies. So in this way you have to explain. So basically we have rolling update strategy, recreate strategy, then blue green deployment we have, canary deployment we have, and today we'll look briefly on these deployments. So basically, whenever you are doing rolling, like when you are following this rolling strategy, what you have to do whenever you are creating a deployment, in that, in the manifest file, we have to mention that our strategy is rolling update. And in that we have to give the max unavailable and max search. So max unavailable we can give it in percentage, or we can give it in number. So max unavailable means during the rolling update how many pods can be unavailable or inactive at that time. If you give 4, so 4 pods you can afford to be inactive, or 25% means 4 pods can be inactive, or it cannot be working during the rolling update. Max surge means that how many additional pods can be created during rolling update. So if you mention 1, means 1 extra pod can be created over the desired, uh, like mentioned over the desired pods. Or if you are mentioning 25%, if you are mentioning in percentage, then 4 pods can be created. So basically, in this way we can edit in manifest file. And also, like we have to mention the health, like health probe in this health check also, like we give liveness probe or startup probe. Like we have to mention that what can be the delay, initial delay seconds, like how much delay we can afford, like 5 second delay, like 5 seconds delay will work. So like this we have to mention things in our manifest file, manifest.yaml file, while doing deciding for rolling update. Then we have the recreate strategy. So why recreate strategy is followed? Because when we can afford downtime and when we have limited resources, like, and also there is one use case, like if there is one pod in which pvc is read write once, it means that it can only be attached to one pod at a time. So uh, if we are doing rolling update, then our pod cannot be attached at for two pods at the same time. So we follow the recreate strategy where one pod is first deleted, the next pod is created, and the volume is attached to that newly created pod. So in this recreate strategy also, we mentioned in our deployment that our strategies recreate, so basically it will like in grafana deployment we do this because we cannot attach the volume to at same time to two different pods. So we have to follow the recreate strategy. Then in production environment, when we are doing the deployment, we have to do we have to follow more techniques like blue green deployment, canary deployment. So what is blue green deployment? See, these are the two instances of the same versions, and name is just anything, like we can even give red white deployment or anything, but yeah, we have chosen the name as blue green deployment. So there is one blue environment, and there is one green environment, which is still in testing phase. And traffic our blue environment is still contacting with the real world or the real clients and handling the real traffic. Our green environment is still in testing phase, which is being tested by QA team and everything. Once they are confident that this environment is ready to use and traffic can be routed to the green environment, then we route the traffic to green environment and it becomes live. So basically, this scenario is used, like how we can incorporate this in our um, manifest file. See, we have to give the labels in specifications. When we give labels as blue and green, so and we have to route the traffic, means our services also, to blue and green. So we have two labels, one will be blue, other will be green. So in our manifest file we have to mention the label as blue or green. In selectors we have to give the label as blue when our traffic is being routed to blue. Once we are confirmed that our traffic can be routed to green, then we have to mention in our selectors that label as green. In this way our blue green deployment works. Then comes the canary deployment, and in this, the traffic is slowly increased to large number of users. And once in this, we get the continuous feedback. Like 5% traffic will be given, or 5% users will be routed to new version, and 95% will be still working on the old version. So in this way we get the feedback of those 5%, and once we are sure that the that our environment is stable and it's fine, then we route the whole traffic to the to all the users. So in the canary deployment, like what is done basically, uh, in our manifest file we mention the replicas. Like we have one deployment in which is based on the old version. Okay, it is based on the image which is running on old version image, and that can have replicas as 10. Okay, and we have a new deployment with all the service, but it the image is the new version image, so that has replica only one. So only one replica is running with new deployment, and the other all the 10 replicas are working on the deployment. In this way, that one replica is being tested, and as soon as when we don't have any issues, we'll increase these replicas count and decrease the replica count from the this old deployment. And once everything is tested, we finally in- discard this old one deployment, and all replicas will be running with new deployment with new version. So this is a manual process. We also have Istio, flaggers, service mesh, which we don't have to manage this pod, these replicas manually. We can directly this Istio and flaggers and service mesh directly manages the number of pods to be scaled up and down. So these are also used while doing canary deployment. So yeah, that's all for the deployment. And whenever they ask you the question like this, you explain the scenario that it depends on what is the user requirement. If it is a production, then we'll go for blue green deployment or canary deployment. And if it's like if we can afford some downtime, then we can go for recreate. Or in a situation like Grafana deployment, we have to go for recreate. Rolling update is when we can again, we cannot afford downtime, and we need to ensure that the pods are created, and then only the other pod should be created. Then we can go for rolling update. So if you explain this briefly, then the interviewer will come to know that yes, you have actually worked on it. So I hope the deployment strategies are clear to all of you, and if there are any doubts, please comment down. Thank you. Bye bye.